everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Giants going up against the Eagles.
Thank you, Larry. It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look live there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Again, it's Pumphrey. And, right away, he lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, and maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
Play fake. Now Webb sliding out of the pocket. On the run. He'll let it. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield. And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guys covering take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by them. And once he's by them, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving. Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right? In that case, he left me a long time ago. Come on now. Trust me. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here. You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around. Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you? You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Tough spot for the offense. 3rd and 8. On play action, Wentz. And he's got his man on the out route. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Play action. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And he's brought down after a good gain. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now they'll run it on the taunts. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. Now a handoff here to his running back. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll run it on the toss. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. He couldn't get the edge there, wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside.
No, not at all. I would agree with that totally because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, and especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it was negligible on that play. No gain at all for the offense.
Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So the D-line's going to spread out. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And a long way to go for the offense here on 2nd down. They will run again with Coleman. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves him still needing 11 here on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And to give this time to the tailback. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8. Off play action, it's Webb. Rolling to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Now they'll run it on the toss. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hold.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Eagles have recovered.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
They start on the ground with Pumphrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On the run, it's Pumphrey. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
The officials so... Cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And they're definitely showing blitz here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Wentz. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Around the NFL, we've got a second quarter score. The Jets have taken the early lead over the Bills. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Certainly their offense has sputtered here a little bit in the first half as they finally do get on the board, but they only have 3.
Well, at least it eases the frustration a bit, doesn't it? To be able to get some points on the board, feel a little bit better about themselves as they go into the locker room and try and regroup.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And he's got some space here. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
A final shot before break. Webb. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on 4th down. Around the NFL, we've got a second quarter score. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fairly short kick taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. A handoff as they run the counter play. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And he'll give it here to his running back. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the third quarter, because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. A gain of 3, second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's third down.
Let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Blake Bell taking it in from the 20, and the Giants add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's Coleman on the toss. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Coleman. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They run. It's Kamara. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The Eagles on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Coleman now. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Wentz got to have this one. And that is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. And the Giants ready to come out now. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Four yards remaining now on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A good run on first down, and now they contemplate a second and goal situation. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And now it's second and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And Brinz's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line. On second down, here's Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gibson. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the 4th quarter now. And the Titans really stretching things out now as they've scored again. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. That one looks like he'll throw here. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back. but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Webb to throw. And he's going to go down again. Derek Barnett in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And partner, this first week.